Okay, that was really frustrating. I guess I figured out what happened if I unplugged my microphone. I wanted to figure it out, and I figured it out. And I never should have done it. I regret that I did it. I should have just left it alone and done the packages another time or on another video. But I unplugged my microphone, and for some reason, that also connected or disconnected my camera. It said the connection to my webcam was lost, and then it wouldn't let me like reconnect it. I don't know how, but this was really annoying, and I'm not gonna do it again. So anyway, this is part 2 of a live stream that I was trying to do before, and there's no reading in that one. It's really just a vlog. So I was trying to like talk about things, and I was gonna open some packages, but I can't because I need one hand for the microphone. But I can't like change the microphone in the middle of the stream because if I disconnect the microphone, it disconnects my webcam as well. If I if I disconnect the microphone, it disconnects my webcam as well, and then I can't do anything. So I was completely frozen for the last couple minutes of the stream. You could still hear me as long as I had my microphone connected, but I couldn't like. I was completely frozen, so I had to end. I ended up having to end the broadcast and come back on. So um, I'm gonna go get the Reddit page ready, and then we're gonna read some stuff because it's already been like half an hour, and all I've done is vlog basically. So hang on. So I really wanted to do a creepypasta reading live stream, and Mr. Creepypasta was reading this reading this story before called "My Daughter's Arm is Stuck Inside a Wall," and I thought it was really good. So I think we're going to be reading that one, and it's an entire series which is posted. This was posted 1 year ago. Posted by 1 year ago. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, so this was posted like a year ago at least. It doesn't say like the exact date or anything, but it just says a year ago. So this was posted a year ago, and it's called My Daughter's Hand is Stuck Inside a Wall. And I think there's like 4 or 5 parts of it. Hang on, there's a notification for me. Favorite Jesus girlfriend trending on the Fosters. Okay, I'll look at that later. But anyway, My Daughter's Hand is Stuck Inside a Wall. And I'm gonna try and get through the entire series. I think there's like 4 or 5 of the stories, and then it ends. So this is r/no sleep, which is one of my favorite subreddits because I absolutely love creepy stories and stuff like that. So this says it's an entire series, and the whole series has been posted on Reddit, but the whole series hasn't been read by Mr. Creepypasta because he only started reading it, I think, a week ago. So also, I really love these little like things on the side. Wait, I have to show you guys. Hang on. I'm gonna connect my screen so you guys can see. Wait. What if I just do this? Okay. And then I'm gonna share my screen. If I want, hang on, hang on. I just clicked something that was wrong. There we go. Share screen. Okay, great. Yay. Entire screen. Yes. Wait. Oh no. Chrome tab. Yes. Okay. Here we go. All right. And then if I go here, it should. Yes. Perfect. Okay, I have no idea how to zoom in anymore, so this is what it is. What's this? Connection is fairly good if you're on Wi-Fi. Oh, Okay. And then this is how many viewers I have. Okay. So this is what we've got. This is what we've got here. So we're gonna try and read this series. Anyway, I love this stuff on the side because it says like how many people are on the subreddit and how many people are members of the subreddit. So right now it's 14.8 million afraid to sleep and 3.7k awake right now. I'm also awake right now because it's only 9:30, which is usually an early night for me. Usually if I'm going for like a later night, like the earliest that I have been going to bed lately is like midnight, and that's because my mom's been working from home, so I have to take like I've had to go to bed early in order to get up early, and I'm going to be doing that again tonight because, like I said, me and my mom have all this stuff planned for my birthday, so we are hoping to get it all done. And so I have to wake up early so we can get it all done. Anyway, my daughter's hand is stuck inside a wall. Oops, accidentally went up one too much. You know you've reached your breaking point when you come to a bunch of strangers asking for help. Well, I'm at my limit and I've had little sleep. It's been over 24 hours since the incident happened, and my husband and I still have no idea what to do or how this even started. I'm laying on the floor now, my eyes bloodshot and weary from crying, holding my little girl up as she leans against the hallway wall and continues to sob in pain. She's been having fits of pain more frequently for the past few hours, and I still don't have a solution for her. All I know for sure is that I will take any suggestions possible. I'm ruffling her hair, soothingly whispering to her and trying to get her to calm down, but it isn't working. Nothing we have done has worked so far either. When I first heard her screams today, I thought for sure it was a problem with one of her toys getting lost. Instead, I turned the corner from the laundry room to see that she was against the wall, desperately trying to tug her arm from the plasterboard. At first, I thought somehow or another she had ripped a hole, and I was about to scold her. As I got closer, I was shocked to find that instead it seemed as though her entire hand, and up to the middle of her arm, was somehow meshed with the wall. It was impossible to determine where one ended and the other began. Okay, sweetie, calm down, calm down, I told her as she started to have a crying fit and kept tugging. It hurts, she screamed. I could tell her efforts weren't making any difference, though, so I immediately distracted her with something else so I could get a closer look. It wasn't easy. She was fidgety, and any sudden movement I worried would make the situation worse. Even after an hour, I couldn't find a way to pry her arm from the wall, so I immediately called my husband at work and told him what was happening. Should I call the paramedics? I asked. He suggested trying to rub some coconut oil on her arms and letting it slip out. Then I sent him a snapshot of the way the wall was basically part of her arm now, and he immediately called. I'll come home right away. Get 911, he said. I've never heard him so alarmed, but maybe it's because I'm normally the panicky one. All I could think about was how scared my little girl was. I soothed her and let her watch some videos on her tablet as she waited for the EMT to arrive. When they got there, however, our troubles were far from over. There were 3 of them, and from the looks on their faces, I could tell that none of them had ever seen anything like this. We need to trust. Wait, we need to check vitals first. The oldest on the team decided as I squeezed my daughter's free hand and tried to tell her it was going to be okay. But any reassuring words I had were falling on deaf ears. She just continued to sob bitterly and tell us how much it hurt. Hey there, what's your name? The lady EMT asked, getting at eye level. Marcy? My 6-year-old stammered. Hey, Marcy, I know it's scary, but we're gonna take care of you, okay? And when this is over, if you're a good girl, maybe your mommy will let you have some candy, she suggested. I nodded and kissed her forehead as the other EMTs worked around the awkward standing position we were in to check everything out. Pulse is a little elevated. Nothing appears to be broken. Ma'am, what's behind this wall? The team leader asked, but my attention was focused on Marcy. The short reprieve she had to calm her down. The short reprieve we had to calm her down was over as she screamed and said something was squeezing her arm. Sorry. And it got louder when she saw her daddy walking in the door. Sir, please step back, the woman EMT advised. I'm her father, Stan. Please tell me you've come up with something. What's causing this? he asked as he rushed to kiss me and then check on Marcy. The older EMT talked in between her bursts of fear. Well, honestly, I can't say for sure, but it seems like the best option right now would be to tear the wall down. Stan boded eagerly as he rubbed Marcy's arm, trying to soothe her pain. Yes, of course. You have my permission. Tear it all down, he demanded. The EMTs radioed for a fire station nearby to bring a sledgehammer. Stan and I just kept holding our little girl tight, not daring to say a word as they returned with the equipment. Please step aside, one firefighter ordered us. I didn't want to be away from her as it happened, but I knew not to disobey, so I quietly stood up and watched as they prepared to smash at the wall. As soon as they began to slam the hammer into the wall, we were all surprised to hear Marcy scream even louder. I thought she might even go deaf from the noise, as they hit the hammer again and nothing seemed to damage the wall. Instead, it only seemed to make Marcy shriek and cry and even twist her arm, to the point of nearly breaking it to get away. Still, she remained lodged in place, and I couldn't be quiet any longer. You're hurting her, I screamed as I motioned for the EMTs to stop. Jesus, it's like the fountain is thicker than concrete, they said. Is there no other way? Stan asked. The team consulted amongst themselves for a few minutes as I wiped away Marcy's tears. They asked to talk to Stan privately. For a moment, I heard him get upset and I cringed, wondering what their suggestion even was. Then he returned to the hall and asked to talk to me, while the EMTs did their best to distract our daughter. They're wanting to amputate, he said with a stone face. I could see the tears that had streaked down his face when he had been arguing with them. I knew that if he was coming to me now, it meant he didn't see there was any other option. They can't, no. She's just a little girl, I said as I covered my mouth and tried not to hyperventilate. Listen to me, just listen, he said as he grabbed my shoulders. They said we could think it over, and that they would consider other options too, but it's not looking good. The weight's lodged in there, he told me. I shook my head, trying not to think about it. I knew he was also struggling with this choice as well, so we told him that we would call him back in a few hours. I sat down on the floor beside Marcy as she complained about her arm getting I sat down on the floor beside Marcy as she complained about her feet getting tired from standing, and told her she could rest on me as I rubbed her arm tiredly. It hurts so much, Mommy, she complained with a whimper. She was all worn out. I don't know how, but we got some sleep. Then this morning, I decided I couldn't bear to hear her in pain any longer, so I asked Dan to call the EMTs back. How will they even do it? I asked as he got off the phone. They didn't specify. I can only imagine that we don't want to know the details, he said as he grabbed me. Then we got on the floor next to Marcy, and he tried to explain to her what was about to happen. Sweetie, do you remember the men and women who came yesterday to take a look at your arm? Stan asked. She nodded weakly. I could tell she had barely gotten any sleep herself. They're coming back now, coming in to try and get you out. But sweetie, what they're going to do, it's going to hurt. Can you be brave for Mommy and Daddy, though? He asked. She whimpered, unsure how to respond, and we held her close. Stan even said a prayer, and we all huddled together until the team arrived. When they did, Marcy was desperate for us not to leave her side as I watched the EMTs get out some syringes and anesthetic to numb the area closest to the wall. We'll get everything set up and then tie her arm off right above the elbow to limit blood flow. Then once the medicine is in her system, we'll try to make a clean cut, the team leader told me. I was visibly shaking. I can't even describe the way that Marcy screamed as they stuck her with about 5 different needles. Then it was time to operate. The 2 EMTs moved to either side of her arm with a bone saw and asked me or Stan to hold her still as they prepared to make the cut. I immediately fell to my knees and squeezed her other hand. Marcy, look at me, baby. Look at me. I want you to think about your favorite ice cream, okay? I asked as they activated the blade, and she whimpered and her lip quivered. Mommy, I'm scared. Please don't let them hurt me, she begged. I touched her cheek and cried alongside her as the blade hit the edge of her arm, and I heard the loudest noise imaginable from the machinery. But Marcy's high-pitched wail was even louder. They immediately stopped and Stan rushed over, all of us surprised to find that somehow her skin had managed to break the bone saw. What in the world? Stan said. They had to try again. They tried 3 times, each time only causing more damage to the saw than any progress on Marcy's arm. Finally, they admitted they couldn't try any longer. They left muttering apologies and promising they would call back as soon as another solution presented itself. That was over 6 hours ago. We haven't had a call back. Stan is taken off work, but he's no closer to a solution. We tried to bust the wall down from outside the house, but no such luck from that end either. I'm at the end of my rope. I've done my best to keep Mercy well fed and dry, but I don't know how much longer this will go on. I'm asking anyone, please help us. Help my little girl. Help. Okay, so that's part one. And then there's a link to the update. Actually, let's take a look at the comments. I'm curious. Get her a chair. Yeah. Yes, that's the first one. Literally the first comment. You have to get her a chair. Jeez. The EMTs asked a good question. What's on the other side of the wall? Maybe you could break through the wall from the other side. It's a long shot, but it doesn't sound like anything else is working. Also, if that fails, try cutting into the wall further and further away. At some point, it has to give, even if you end up with an 8x8 chunk of sheetrock stuck to Mercy. That's an improvement over having her stuck in place. Even if number 2 fails, the EMTs were able to inject Mercy, so as awful as it sounds, the same logic applies to amputating. If you go far enough away from the wall, she's clearly not invulnerable. A whole arm amputation beats being stuck in a wall forever. Yeah. Yes, I couldn't have said it better. OP, I know you're stressed and all, but everything that this guy said is common sense. And I'm afraid that the method about cutting a little higher might be the only solution here. Also, why did you not ask Mercy what she did to get her hands stuck in the wall? Yeah, OP is pretty negligent about handling this. Surprised it wasn't the first thing he tried. He's freaking out, okay? His daughter's arm is stuck in a wall. Jeez, I wouldn't be that rational about it either. Honestly, OP is a parent freaking the hell out. Not everyone has a cool rational head. Exactly, thank you. Don't go and call him negligent when he's having a problem. He doesn't need that right now, okay? He's trying to be a good parent and do the best he can. Jeez. Not to mention, this is not a typical problem for a kid to have, turning into a house and all. Oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen. Oh no. The title for the last update, when I was looking at the entire thing, the title for the last update said my daughter was stuck inside a wall. I hope she doesn't actually literally become part of the house. Jeez. Okay, let's read the update. I want to see. Wait. Oh no. Wait. What? Oh, jeez. Wait. It just took me to another tab. So do I have to connect this other tab? Okay. That's annoying. Wait. Okay, is there another way to do this? Can I just, like, close? Okay. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do this other than just... Okay, what's 330? What does this mean? Kyle Harrison writes. Oh, what? Okay. Interesting. Oh, there's an entire subreddit for a guy named Kyle Harrison writes. Wait, this can't be right. Okay. Stuck on a roller coaster notes. Wait. Read here first. Okay, what's this? Okay. Okay, so I just got this. I clicked on 330 under that tab, and I found this subreddit for someone named Kyle Harrison Writes. That's cool. Actually, I'm gonna join the subreddit, and then I'll kick back with you guys in a second. But I'm gonna join the subreddit. Wait, how do I join? Oh, I guess I can't. I mean, unless I'm already... okay. Can I... What? Okay. Yeah, there's no join button. Moderators, message the mods. Okay. What? Okay, so this is the OP's subreddit, it looks like. That's cool. Hey, they got stocks happening. It's really cool. It's showing me this ad for like stocks and stuff. I was actually thinking about maybe doing that, like investing in stocks. Like if you invest in something you know is gonna work out, like Google or Amazon or something, because those are huge right now. So yeah, if you invest in something like that, then most likely you'll probably there's the join button. Then most likely you're probably gonna like get a return in your money. So yeah, that's cool. Okay, I gotta figure out a different way to get. Hang on. I gotta figure out a different way. Otherwise, I'm just gonna connect to this screen instead. Okay. Well, alright. Yeah. And then if I click here, is it gonna take me to a different? Yes, it is. Okay. So I think what I have to do is just disconnect from this, and then I'm gonna actually just connect to the other tab because this is the best I can do at the moment. So hang on. And I'm just gonna reconnect to this Chrome tab. My daughter's arm is stuck inside a wall. Yes. My daughter's arm is stuck inside. Okay, so the first one was called My Daughter's Hand is Stuck Inside a Wall. This one is called My Daughter's Arm is Stuck Inside a Wall. Hey, can you guys hear it when I do this? I'm assuming yes. Sorry, I had to try it. I don't know if that was annoying to you guys, but I just had to try it. I was curious. So, alright, we're gonna continue reading part 2. My daughter's arm is stuck inside a wall. Wait, actually, first, I just want to. Okay, this is not. Yeah, I don't. Okay, no, that's not. Yeah. Alright. My daughter's arm is stuck inside a wall, so it sounds like she's moving further into the wall, which I already knew because part 2, which is this one, was posted on YouTube by Mr. Creepypasta a couple of days ago. And obviously I watched it because I enjoy his videos. And like I said when I started this, I absolutely love creepy stories. So yeah, I was reading and yeah, I was listening to the series. Okay. Wait. Sorry. I got through. Like I don't know. I've been streaming for about 20 minutes, so maybe about an hour in general. I started at like 9 o'clock, so yeah, I've been streaming for almost an hour now. So I'm probably like halfway through the stream at this point. I'm gonna try and at least finish like this, at least finish this series, the entire series, because I think there's only 4 of these, and if they're about the length of the first one, they're pretty short. Hang on. Actually, I need more bismuth. In case you're wondering what bismuth is, it's one of my new strategies for my IBS. I got these bismuth tablets, and when I pair them with loperamide, they do a really good job helping with my diarrhea. And right now, what I'm taking them for isn't so much diarrhea. I'm just more taking them to help with the cramps that I'm having. Like, they're actually very slight right now, but they were worse before, and then I took some bismuth, and it's actually been helping a lot. So, yeah, that's one of the new things that I do that I've been doing for like a couple of months now, and it's actually been working. So, bismuth is like basically the generic brand of Pepto-Bismol, and I just take them with some loperamide, and it helps me a lot with diarrhea. And yeah, so I'm feeling a little sick right now. Like, I'm not feeling really, really sick like I was like in the past, like when I ate a lot of ice cream or something, but I'm feeling like a little bit sick. So I'm just taking it to help with the cramps and maybe some diarrhea that I'm probably going to have later, so I'm going to have to deal with that too. Okay, sorry. Alright, part 2 of my daughter's arm being stuck inside a wall. Something changed about 4 hours after I posted. Stan ran out to buy a soft beanbag chair for Marcy to rest in, while I bit my nails and waited by the phone for another call from the EMT. Their suggestions weren't bad, but each one of them sounded more gruesome and torturous than the one prior to it. Acid, or maybe some sort of explosive, they said. It made me physically shake to imagine doing that to my little girl. I was tired and exhausted, but I still had some sanity left to know that I didn't want to make my little girl be in any more pain, especially now that her screams had mostly turned into whimpers as she rested, even crying pitifully in her sleep. I stepped away from her for a minute or two just to regain some sense of composure and checked all the suggestions that folks posted here. Some of it was quite appalling, suggesting that we kill her to save her the pain, but others suggested that we should attempt to cut from further away up her arm. As this guy said it, U/Rib/Nag, that I think that's right, said it so well, a whole arm amputation beat her current predicament. Exactly. I showed my husband the suggestion, and he agreed with the logic, so I went back to Marcy to make her comfortable as he made the call. That was when I noticed that it was no longer just the lower part of her arm stuck. Now the wall was connected directly at the arm right beneath her shoulder. She was being pulled further in. I covered my mouth to stifle a scream and rushed to get Stan. When he came and saw what had happened, he made a few quick decisions. Don't wake her. She's not in pain right now. Maybe that's a good thing. We can get this over with before it sucks her further inside, he suggested. I nodded, trying not to panic as I paced the kitchen, but the hospital wasn't responding. The one nurse we did finally get a hold of thought that we were pulling some kind of prank and hung up. What are we supposed to do? I asked Stan as we consulted in the living room. I'm not sure, but I think right now we both need some sleep. As cruel as it sounds, there's nothing we can do for her at the moment. Maybe with some good rest we can clear our heads and get some better ideas, he suggested. I don't want to leave her alone, I admitted as I stared down the hall where a little girl was resting in the beanbag. She looked like a little rag doll, limp but hanging by some invisible thread on the other side of the wall. We can take shifts. You need rest, Stan insisted, and then went to lay down alongside her as I covered my mouth again and tried to calm down. He was right. I knew that I needed to take a break from this insanity, so I went to grab a hot shower and then climbed into bed. That sounds good right now. But sleep was nearly impossible as I thought about Marcy and how it could be at any time that the wall might decide to pull her in further. Somehow or another, I got a few hours sleep. In the morning, my husband did have a more level head, and as we stood there watching her sleep and make soft coos of pain, he whispered, "What was she doing before this happened anyway?" I rubbed my eyes tiredly and realized I'd never really gotten a chance to ask her. I was sorting laundry and then I heard her scream, I admitted. He nodded and then went to the kitchen to check his smartphone. I called Tim last night about possibly coming over to knock the wall down since it seems like the area closest to her is what makes it painful. I figure if we go far enough out and start from there, he said, and then added, if that doesn't work, we might be able to drill from under the house. I was focused on Marcy, though. I realized she was waking up, so I nodded absently at my husband's ideas and put all my attention on her. Hey, baby girl, are you okay? I asked, getting on my knees as she opened her sleepy eyes. She looked at me confused, perhaps thinking that the whole ordeal had been a bad dream. Then she turned to see the wall that was right now against her body, and she began to whimper again. Mommy, what's happening? She asked desperately. Hey, it's okay. You don't feel any pain, do you? I asked as I clenched her hand. No, just, it feels really numb. Tingly, she admitted. I then remembered that the paramedics had said the local anesthetic they used would be wearing off about after a day, so the fact that she was still feeling something made me instantly nervous. Stan had checked the exterior of the house. Our walls aren't too thick, so there couldn't possibly be over 9 feet between the interior of the hallway to the edge of the house where she was trapped. But we hadn't been able to see anything, so where exactly was she feeling the pain at now? It's gonna be okay. Uncle Tim is gonna come over and see what he can do to help, I told her. She nodded and asked if I could make her some breakfast. Doing this simple routine task seemed like the best way for me to keep my mind off my little girl's plight. I slowly washed the dishes and daydreamed about anything besides the wall. Eventually, Tim arrived, and as soon as he jumped inside, he got a good look at the wall and Marcy. Hey, kiddo, he said, smiling and offering Marcy a small trinket as a distraction while he got a better look. This is crazy, he admitted as he finished his examination, and we all worried about what the next few hours might mean for Marcy. Tim has bought a heavy-duty saw from the back of his truck and set it up at the edge of the hall where the wall met the door of the laundry room. Stan got an extension cord, and they got it set up as I distracted Marcy. I'm not scared, Mommy. I just want to go play in my room, she admitted. Tim started up the saw and approached the wall. He was at least 4 feet away, but as soon as the saw touched the wall, Marcy's calm demeanor fractured into more pain. Stop! Stop! I yelled, but the noise was so loud and Tim was wearing protective ear guards. Somehow, though, he managed to hear Marcy's piercing screams and he instantly shut the equipment off. Shit, is she okay? He asked as he removed his eye gear. Marcy was shaking again, clenching her other fist and squeezing her side so hard that it was leaving a bruise. I tried to get her to tell me what hurt, but she was at a loss for words. We have to try something else. Hitting the wall is no good, Stan said. If we could ever get these damned paramedics back here, maybe we could apply some stronger anesthetic from this side, Tim suggested as he checked Marcy's free arm. While she was distracted with the pain, he made a small cut with his pocket knife against her palm, and I slapped him away. What is wrong with you? Are you trying to make it worse? I asked angrily. Relax. It was just a test of theory. You said near to the wall she couldn't be hurt, but look on this side. She could still bleed, he said, gesturing to the successful cut. It's all the way up to her fucking shoulder, Tim. Where the hell would we be able to cut? I screamed back. He raised his hands defensively and muttered, all right. Amputation is off the table right now. Let's try the other thing, drilling from underneath. Stan seemed to agree that it was a good idea, so the two of them left the house, while I worked frantically to calm my little girl down. She was so tired and worn out from everything that it didn't take as long. Mommy, I'm scared. As I sang a lullaby to her and let her rest her head against me, she looked up at me and mumbled, Mommy, I'm scared. Am I going to be stuck like this forever? I rubbed her back and smiled, tears welling in my eyes. I didn't know, but I lied to her. No, baby, Uncle Tim and Daddy are going to get you out, I assured her. I could hear the two of them crawling under the house. We live in an area that is at the bottom of a hill, so the crawl space is mostly designed for water that trickles down to flow through and go into a nearby ditch. In other words, I knew that Tim and Stan were likely on their backs struggling in muck and dirt to search for the right spot to drill. I'm sorry, Mommy, Marcy said abruptly as I went to the nearby vent in the floor to talk to Stan. It's okay, honey. It's not your fault, I told her. She was whimpering again, but not out of pain. This time she was scared. I recognized it as the face she usually made when she thought she would get in trouble. Stan was telling me something about how I would need to send the drill down through the vent along with the cord, but my attention was focused on what Marcy was trying to tell me. Baby, why would you think you're in trouble? I asked her as she squirmed uncomfortably. Now with 90% of her arm in the wall, it was nearly impossible for her to get into a position that wasn't going to hurt even with something to rest on. What were you doing before this happened? I asked. Guilt was written all over her face. I'm sorry, Mommy, I'm sorry. I didn't know, she admitted. She looked panicked. No, sweetie, it's okay. You aren't in trouble, I told her. I was drawing on the walls, she sobbed. For some reason, the way she said it made a cold shiver run up and down my spine. It's okay, baby, I said with a soft sigh. I don't know, jeez. It's going to be okay. You aren't in trouble, I told her. But I really think she is. I'm about to send the drill down to Stan and Tim, but my gut is telling me that it won't work. My gut is telling me that there is something very wrong with this house. Okay, hang on. I now have to disconnect the old. I now have to disconnect. I now have to disconnect the old tab and reconnect the new tab. Oh, easy. They just have a remove button at the bottom, actually, so that's perfect. Okay. Here, share screen. Okay. Yes. Chrome tab. My daughter's arm is still stuck inside a wall. My daughter's arm is stuck inside a wall. My daughter's arm is still stuck. Okay. Hang on. Just waiting for it to finish buffering. Okay, there we go. My daughter's arm is still stuck inside a wall, because of course it is. It's been quite a while since I've touched a bottle of alcohol. Had a problem with it when I was younger, but I kicked the habit when I found out I was pregnant. I swore I would never even have a drop of this stuff again. But now, it's been 3 days and there isn't any hope in sight for my daughter. If you're just catching this for the first time, the problem started on Friday. Marcy was drawing on the wall in the back hallway of our 3-bedroom house, and then suddenly, she was unable to remove her right hand from the wall. Since that time, we've tried every method known to science, and it's left my husband Stan and I feeling rather desperate. It got so bad after we called Tim, her uncle, we resorted to drilling from the crawl space under the house. Despite the impossibility of it, I can't deny what I'm witnessing any longer. It does seem like she's being absorbed by the house. This was further confirmed when Tim and Stan tried the drill. After lowering it through the vent, followed by the extension cord, I told the boys to give it a shot and held Marcy as close as possible as the machinery activated. For a moment I thought it was working. She wasn't screaming and seemed to be distracted by the hum. Then it hit the foundation of the house. Marcy let out a wail so loud I thought it might burst my eardrums. Instantly I signaled for the two of them to stop. They hadn't even made a dent in the foundation, and it was already causing her more harm. Once Tim and Stan were back inside, the two of them checked on Marcy first, before deciding to go to the den to try and solve this. Somehow I managed to calm her down long enough for me to join them. Anywhere close to her is hurting her physically, so let's try going further and further out into the house. There's bound to be somewhere that doesn't affect her. Maybe we start from there and work our way toward her, Stan suggested. I could tell he was stressed more than ever. He had called into work these past few days to try and help. His job had even called several times yesterday to ask when he was returning, and he offered a flimsy excuse, but it's not like we can just ignore the bills forever. I think you should contact the media. I know you have posted it on the internet, so what's the harm here? Tim suggested. I don't want a bunch of quacks coming in and treating her like some kind of experiment, I said angrily. I didn't want to admit that I almost considered posting a video of Marcy's predicament earlier. I couldn't press the button, though. It didn't seem right. This was my child, not some work of art or a freak show. I didn't know what sort of attention that kind of post would attract. I turned to my phone as the two men talked and reviewed some of the more outlandish theories. Surprisingly, the only sanity I've found has been to come online and check the suggestions made. They didn't seem so bizarre anymore. Many of them were practical, like attempting to cut away at the wall from a further and further distance. That sounded like what Tim had just said, but we soon found out that just about anywhere in the house when we did something, it was causing pain to our little girl. Even the simplest things, like flicking the light switch on and off. She said it felt like a shock. Eventually, Stan and Tim agreed that they needed to test and see what else did and did not affect Marcy, so they went to different parts of the house to try other things. Meanwhile, I sat in a chair alongside her and prepared her. Hang on. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, I sat in a chair alongside her beanbag and prepared her. Uncle Tim and Daddy are going to try and see if they can help you, but it's going to take a lot of trial and error, sweetie, I told her. She seemed numb now, so tired from pain that she barely registered the words I was saying. I sobbed and held her, wishing that this damned house would take me instead of her. Tim started in the bathroom and turned on the sink. Marcy said it felt like she was swimming and that it was hard to breathe. Stan went to the living room and turned on the TV. Marcy knew what show was playing, even though she was down at the end of the hall and it was muted. We decided to limit our use of anything in the house, not knowing what could or could not affect her. Tim made a few calls to some nurses he knew over in the local ER. The stuff the EMTs gave her probably wasn't strong enough. If we're going to do this, she needs to be out cold, he told me. Stan and I were too tired to argue. A few hours later, his friend arrived and examined our little girl like she was some kind of specimen, asking us all the questions we'd been asked 1,000 times. I was already concluding in my mind that this wasn't going to work. There's not much room to work with here, the nurse admitted as she tried to numb the little portion of skin on Marcy's arm that was still outside the wall between her arm and shoulder, but the needles weren't working. Most of that part of her body now seemed impenetrable. Instead, she was ordered to setting up an IV on Marcy's left arm and gave her a few general antibiotics and morphine as Tim searched desperately online for what sort of anesthetic could do the trick. Even if you do get her sedated, how would you even amputate at this point? You would have to cut from the neck down, I said angrily. You have a better idea, the nurse snapped back. We're not dealing with anything natural, so it's not going to be solved by natural means. I think we need to consider calling a priest or something, I admitted. Stan was nearby pouring some coffee, and he nodded absently. I guess it couldn't hurt to try at this point, he admitted. Oh yeah, let's just look in the yellow pages under exorcist, the nurse said, rolling her eyes and crossing her arms. I was about to snap back at her for her attitude when I heard Marcy making some more whimpering noises, and so I went to check on her. Stan was right by my side. We now saw that her arm was completely sucked in, along with a portion of her shoulder. She was gripping my hand with her left one as hard as she told us how badly it hurt. Why won't it let go of me? She screamed. Stan's face hardened, and he stood up before going to grab his coat. What are you doing? I asked. Off to find a priest. There's bound to be someone that'll listen to me, he said. Tim and his friend were finishing up the next round of drugs, but Marcy complained about the needles. Every time they stick me, it makes me hurt more in there, she complained. I touched her cheek softly and kissed her forehead. I know, baby girl, I know. It's going to hurt before it gets better, I said. But Tim wasn't feeling as sympathetic. He held Marcy still as his friend prepared the next round of general anesthetic. Nothing seemed to be making her sleep, though, and the more she was poked and prodded, the more she complained about the wall squeezing her arm tighter and tighter. It was a wonder that she could feel anything at all. Just get out! You've done more harm than good, I screamed to them. Tim apologized for his friend, and the two of them scurried away as I kept rocking her, trying to make sense of this nightmare. You should be glad I even came to help, the nurse shouted as she left the house. Tim muttered another apology and followed after her. Then, just when I was ready to pass up myself, Stan came back, and he wasn't alone. The man that came with him did not look like a traditional Catholic priest. He was wearing just some khaki pants and a buttoned-up white shirt that wasn't completely ironed. It looked like Stan had probably caught him at a bad time because when he arrived, he didn't seem too happy with being there. As he got closer, his eyes narrowed and he examined Marcy closely. It was almost infuriating to see yet another person scrutinize our child and treat her like an object. I must admit, I've never seen anything like this, he said. Can you help us or not? Stan said in a cold tone. I could tell that he had likely gotten a few negative responses from his search. I can do my best, the priest said as he went back outside, and then returned a moment later with a small bag. He laid it down about 9 feet from Marcy and then took out a few simple supplies. He first took out long bundles of sage leaves and stems that were tied together, and then took out a few bottles of crystal clear water. He instructed us to wait outside the house as he began to gently pour the water around the spot where Marcy was stuck. It's like holy water or something, I think. I hesitated, not wanting to leave my little girl, but I understood the stakes, and promptly left to go stand in the yard. Stan and I stood there holding each other for the next 20 minutes or so, waiting for some signal that it was okay to come back inside. And the longer we waited, the more uneasy I felt. Was this man really here to help our daughter? What if he was a molester or something? And how did we even know if he was really doing anything helpful or not? Suddenly, a shrill noise burst through my thoughts. It was a smoke alarm. Stan ran in, shut it off, and I wasn't far behind him. Open all the windows, he told me hastily as I ran amid the smoky hallway to grab hold of Marcy. Are you okay? I asked her, touching her face. It was hard for me to really see her expression, but she nodded silently as I went to the other windows to ventilate the house. Once the smoke was starting to clear, I could tell it looked like what had happened was the priest had lit the sage on fire and then dropped it on the ground for whatever reason. Jesus Christ, Stan said as he waved the smoke away and tried to find the priest. Ugh, jeez. Hang on. Sorry, I needed some more water. But he was nowhere in sight. I turned my attention to Marcy to make sure she was okay. Then I let out a louder scream. I didn't think it was possible, but it was now somehow worse. part of her face was melted to the wall up to the edge of her right eye and her lower chest as well. Baby, are you okay? Did that man do something to you? I screamed as I squeezed her hand. She was sobbing again and looking around frantically. It was clear she was panicking because she couldn't turn her head. I don't know what happened, Mommy. He was chanting something and talking funny, and then he began to strike the wall. I felt dizzy when he did that. He It was scary. He was a scary man, she admitted. Stan checked the rest of the house, but there was no sign of the priest anywhere. Oh my gosh. I slumped against the wall, feeling deflated and defeated. There was one thing of significance, though. The spot where Marcy and said the priest had been striking the wall felt a little different. It felt warm. Okay, I think there's only one more part to this, so hang on while I get the last thing ready. First I have to, stop screen. Okay, here we go. Alright, we're gonna do this last part, and then I think I'm gonna shut down for the night. I know I was planning to do like a 2-hour stream, but I'm getting tired, and, also my voice is starting to go a little bit, so I think that for now, I'm just gonna, do this. Wait. So I think that for now, I'm just gonna do one more, this last part, and then we're gonna be done, so. So just hang on while I get the last part ready. Yeah, my voice is starting to go. And I know I did like a 3-hour video where I read the entire Shirley's Garden before, like, and it was like 3 hours, and I probably honestly could have kept going for another couple hours, but I don't think I can do that kind of stuff anymore. Like, I don't think I can do that kind of stuff anymore, because that was years ago, and that was before my allergies ever became a big problem. So with my allergies and everything and the way things are now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that stuff anymore. We will see. But I think from now on, I'm just going to have to do it in parts and then upload it as one entire thing. So you guys are just going to have to, jeez. Okay, this is the second last thing. Okay, this is the second last one, and then I think we have one more part after this, and then I have to shut everything down because, oh my god, it's late. It's really late, and I'm tired, and it's late. And you can tell how tired I'm getting because of all my mistakes that I'm making, and even, like, yeah, you can tell that I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna share this. I might, honestly, so I think what I'm gonna do actually is maybe try to do another live stream tomorrow. If I get up at the time that I'm planning to get up, it's gonna be like 9 or 10 in the morning, so I should probably be able to do like another live stream before my mom comes home, and maybe this time I'll be able to get up to 3 hours. We will see, but but tonight I'm just live streaming for as long as I can, which is gonna end soon because I can't do this much longer. And I'm only doing like the last couple parts of this because this is really short. But after this, I have other stuff to do. Like I have to take a shower and I have to use the bathroom. Like I said, I'm not feeling great, so I'm gonna have to go deal with that. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna take one more round of bismuth and also myloperamide, like before I move on to the next part of this story book thing. But I wanted to finish the entire thing because I want this to go all into one live stream. And yeah, it just says reading fiction. I meant to like change actually the name on this live stream. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me do it before I went into the live stream. I think because of the number of live stream that because the live stream, because of the times between the live streams, it wasn't that long, but as far as I could tell, it wouldn't let me change the name in the live stream. So if you guys will give me a second, I'm going to take more of my anti-diarrheal medication. And then I'm going to read the last 2 parts of this story, and then I'm going to go to bed because you can tell how tired I am just by how I'm tired. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Oh, goodness. Sorry, but give me another second. Sorry, but I'm kind of dealing with my allergies like being worse, and also, the fact that I'm gonna have to deal with diarrhea later. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm dealing. It affects me, it affects my channel, and therefore it affects my progress for you guys. So, there's not really much I can do about it except just deal with it the best that I can. And now we're gonna read the rest of this because I really want to finish this before I go. And if you guys have heard the first 3 parts of this, which nobody has because I'm still at 0 viewers, but when you guys watch this later, you're probably going to want me to finish this thing, so let's just finish the stupid story. Okay. My daughter's body is stuck inside a wall. I don't know exactly when we went past our breaking point. Was it when this all started or when things got worse? Either way, it's happened. There isn't much else I can describe about what transpired here after the incident with the priest, other than a complete and total loss of sanity. Sorry. Sheesh. I think I was the first one to really lose it. So, hang on. Lack of sleep, trying to keep Marcy as comfortable as possible, and trying to keep a straight face myself despite the circumstances were likely the main cause. But the moment that really made me start to question everything was around lunchtime yesterday. I've had to resort to a liquid diet for Marcy because of the way she's fused with the wall. She had only barely opened her mouth on the left side, and I'm feeding her with a straw. There's not... Okay, bear with me. I'm sorry, the grammar in this is not just... it's not ideal. For the most part, when this happens, she is quiet and cooperative because she is hungry. But yesterday, something different happened. "Mommy, why did they do it?" she whispered as she took another sip of hot broth. "Do what, sweetie?" I asked. "The walls. They changed the color." "Why did they change the color?" Marcy whimpered. I frowned and ran the back of my palm against her forehead to check for fever, and I muttered, "Baby, what are you talking about?" "In the upstairs bedroom. They covered it up. I don't know why they did it," she complained. She seemed tired, so I kissed her head and told her I was going to go take a nap. Stan came to be beside her as I gently walked up the stairs, pondering over what she had told me. Eventually, I found myself standing outside of Stan's office, the upstairs bedroom that Marcy had been talking about. As I stared into the room, I thought back to when we had first bought this house. The realtor had suggested if we ever wanted to expand our family that the room could be a great nursery. Why had she said that? Okay. I stepped into the room and stared at the walls, the patterns that were decorating them, before finally deciding to rip it all off. As I began to tear it down, I heard sharp sounds from downstairs. Then Stan was running up the stairs like a wild man. "What the fuck are you doing?" he asked as he burst into the room. I kept stripping off the wallpaper and ignoring him as he grabbed my hand and forced me to look at him face to face. Ah, jeez. Okay. I don't. Okay. Oh my god, I can't. Okay, I can't. I'm too tired. I didn't realize that it was gonna be this much this late at night. Okay, hang on. Because I want to remove your stream. Okay, there we go. Okay, I didn't realize that it was gonna be this tiring this late at night. I didn't realize that it was gonna be this much, and I'm now super tired. I thought that when I started the stream that I was gonna be able to get through it all, but I was wrong. I'm so tired that I'm just trying to talk. I'm trying to finish what I wanted to say, which is that I didn't think this was going to be too much for me because I'm so used to staying up so late, but this time it was too much for me. So I love each and every one of you guys, and I am going to go now, and we'll finish this tomorrow. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow, and I will make the time to at least finish this story. So, okay, I love you guys, and I'm gonna go now. So, okay, enjoy my new channel. Well, my old channel that is now my new channel. So I hope you enjoy all the fiction readings to come, and I hope you enjoy everything. And I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy my channel and the Reddit readings, and because this is now an all-encompassing channel. I'm just going to change the name later, but this is not only a fiction channel, it's just an all-encompassing reading channel. But there's other stuff that I wanted to do. Like, I was originally going to make this like a Gravity Falls reading live stream, but I'm not even going to be able to finish one Gravity Falls fan fiction, and if I can't finish like one Gravity Falls fan fiction, like the entire thing. So if I'm just putting up like the first chapter or the first couple chapters of various fan fictions, then that's going to be a fiction bomb, and I'm not exactly ready for my first one yet. So I think I'm just going to leave it for now, but I love you guys, and I will see you when I see you. And I was just doing creepypastas because for the most part they're short, like unless they're multi-parters, like I was trying to finish this one, but I'll just finish it in like 2 parts, and then I'm going to download all the parts, and I'm going to make it into one whole part, which will just be one video. Okay, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and shower and deal with my bathroom and everything like that. I love you guys, and I will stream you tomorrow. Stream for you tomorrow. Bye.